All right, we're back for part two. Today we're going to be talking about how we can conserve water during this drought inside of our homes, the things we can be doing. If you missed part one, where we discuss what we can do outside of our homes, be sure to go back and watch that video. As always, it does us a huge favor if you click that subscribe button or the notification button as well to be notified anytime we release a new video about owning, buying, selling, investing in real estate in Utah. Thanks. The tips that we're going to be going over today are all found on slowtheflow.org. We appreciate their efforts and what they're doing to help Utahns conserve water during this drought. And the things we're going to be discussing today on the inside of the home mainly have to do with appliances. If there's anything that we missed, please leave it in the comment. We'd love to see what other items or actions that we can be taking to be able to help conserve water. The first thing that they talk about, though, is even with our stove and our cooking. You know, if you're boiling pasta or you're doing stuff like that, rather than just straining that excess water down the drain once you're done with it, use that water to water some of your potted plants, maybe your vegetable garden. Obviously, you don't want to dump the scalding hot water on there. You want to let it cool off first. But they talk about on that website how that water actually carries a ton of nutrients and it's actually super, super healthy for your plants. Next thing that they talk about is the sink. I know I'm super guilty of this. After reading through these items, I was like, oh man, I've got to be way more mindful, make sure I'm not doing that. When I go to load the dishwasher, I turn the sink on. I try and run it just a slow stream, but when I turn the sink on, I do let it just run while I, pre-scrub those dishes and put them in the dishwasher. They talk about on here, fill the sink first. Put a couple inches of water in the bottom, with the stopper, and then use that water to pre-wash those dishes. Saves a ton. We can also do those same steps with clean water when we're washing our vegetables, preparing them to cook, rather than running the water on them to clean them. Speaking of dishwashers, make sure your dishwasher's full before you run it. Used to be that we would run our dishwasher just every night, no matter what was in there, so that way we had all the clean dishes that we would need for the next day. My family, we've really focused now on making sure that that dishwasher is packed to the brim before we run it. The more efficient your dishwasher is as well, the better. A lot of the newer models have gone to very, very low water necessary to be able to clean those dishes. So if you need an excuse to buy a new dishwasher, now might be your time this drought. There's one positive to it. You can get a new dishwasher out of it. Another tip that they advise us to do, make sure that we're checking all of our sinks, faucets, tubs, and everything, and that there's no water leaks. Number one, that's going to cause damage to your home, and we don't want that. But number two, those actually make up about 14% of all indoor water use. Leaks do. It's crazy. I had no idea. So make sure that your faucets aren't dripping. If you need recommendations for a good plumber or somebody to come and help you, we've got a great contact that would love to come and help you out. Another statistic that they shared on Slow the Flow, and to make sure I get this right, I'm going to look here. Showering just 1 minute less every day will save up to 1,800 gallons of water each year. Crazy. That's a ton of water. So, who doesn't love a long shower? Well, let's make sure we're keeping those short and as quick as we can. We used to give my kids showers, but we've actually gone and put them all in the tub now, and we reuse the bath water to try and help make sure we're conserving. In addition to that, replacing old shower heads is a good option as well. The newer shower heads, much more efficient. So, you can get a new dishwasher and a new shower head. We talked about dishwashers already. Same idea with your washing machines as far as your clothing goes. Make sure that you're putting a full load in. Don't want to overload your washing machine, but just washing a couple shirts really isn't doing the state any good when we're trying to conserve water. Try and make sure that you've got an absolutely full load there and utilizing that time and that water. Last thing they talk about is upgrading your toilets. I know a lot of people are like, oh man, my toilet's just fine. Why would I want to spend money on that? Newer models use only 1.28 gallons per flush. Models made prior to 92 use between 3.5 and 7 gallons per flush. If you need to know how old your home is, give me a call. I can tell you that. But yeah, if your toilets are made prior to 92, you're using 3.5 to 7 gallons per flush, which is a lot of water compared to newer models using 1.28 gallons. Even then, I've been talking to people about conserving water and stuff, and I've had a few people tell me that they're using the the motto now when it comes to their toilets that if it's yellow, let it mellow, and if it's brown, flush it down. So we've my wife and I have discussed that a little bit, trying to decide how else we can conserve water. So you may want to take that into effect in your home as well. Ultimately, we're all just trying to do everything we can, be good citizens here in the state, and be mindful of the water that we're using. Again, like I said, if you have any additional tips, please leave them in the comments, because we all want to do our part to make sure that we have water next year, and that hopefully we can pull out of this drought as soon as possible.